Let's go. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of She Shift, where I bring on amazing women around the world and they talk about what their what's next is and how they've gotten there. So they're here to inspire you to go after your what's next by going leaving the corporate, leaving not the corporate, but leaving your cubicle to figure it out. So with that being said, tonight I have brought on an amazing woman who is she's an author, y'all. She's an adorn and a minister. I won't mess up that. A minister, a business and writing strategist. She's a confidence consultant, a workshop seminar facilitator. She is a podcast executive producer. She's a host, blogger, and an inspirational, motivational speaker. So I want you all to know that she will be coming to the show. But before I bring her to the show, I would like everyone to drop in the feed. What is your win for this week? You know how we do it. It's Win Wednesday. You'll get to hear our win, but you know I love celebrating you. So drop it in the feed and let me know your win is for the week. And then, okay, you guys, I'm doing good. I got brought my water. Normally, if you don't know, normally at this point in time, I've already had all my water, so I don't come on with my water. But I'm always asking you, what is your go-to snack? I am on this journey for healthy eating, so I would love to hear what that is. And then lastly, I want you to go get your pen, paper, your girlfriend and girlfriends, and bring them to the stage. And then tonight's show is sponsored by Hot Flashes and Cool Topics. These are amazing women who are talking about, like we all, as we are crossing over to midlife, talking about what we face in midlife, as well as perimenopause, menopause, and so much more. You guys have to check them out. They can be found on all large podcast platforms. So without further ado, let me bring to the stage today Miss Michelle Jones. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. It looks like I'm a little frozen here.
That's okay. We'll just keep it moving and hopefully it'll catch up. So tell everybody a little bit more about yourself.
Well, like you said, my name
Uh-oh. We may have lost her.
individuals kind of move into that next phase of their lives. Um, some people will call it sharing their testimony through a book and kind of going from that perspective. So I believe that everyone has a testimony that is worthy of being told. And sometimes it's told just by conversation one to another. And other times it is shared simply through how we interact on page. Because I
True.
can tell a story on a page, and when you read it, because it's touching you where you are, it has the ability really to touch that place in you to help you move forward with what it is that you are trying to do. I'm not understanding while I'm still frozen because you can
Oh,
hear me, right?
yes, ma'am, I sure can.
Okay.
We will go ahead and we'll just move on. They can hear us, and that's the most important piece of this. And we'll work it out from there. So as you got what first of all, what led you to get into being the literary queen that you are?
Well, I was coaching some individuals, and I was a business coach, and I was coaching some clients about getting their business from the hustle stage to the legitimate business stage and switching their mindset from the hustler to a business owner. And I found
Mm,
myself consistently repeating myself over and over again. And one day I was complaining when I was talking to God, and I was like, I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over again. Your kids are hard-headed. They just simply hard-headed. And he said, well, don't keep repeating yourself, put it in a book.
oh,
And
oh,
so I said, you know what? That's a good idea. So my first book that I ever wrote was Grasping Your Success, 6 Steps to Starting and Legitimizing Your Business. And so all of the things that I would normally painstakingly go through with each one of my clients. I put it in a book, and then I could just put the book in their hands. Well, that kind of started something.
Okay.
After that, the next year, I actually put out another book. I wrote a book, and I actually wrote that book in 3 weeks. Um, that book is called Walking on Water in My Stilettos, How God Strengthened My Faith Walk. And that was him telling me to share a very painful, a very difficult season of my life. And I'm a church girl. So
Yes,
anybody
ma'am.
who knows anything about being a church girl, you learned early in life not to tell people all your business because they'll hold it against you. And so that was my conversation with God when he was telling me to write this book. And I was like, nah, because they'll have too much of my business. They'll know too much about me. And I'm just not okay with that. And so I kind of went back and forth. And at one point in time, he was like, okay, you just being really hard headed. So he took my ability to write from me until I agreed to write the book. So I took during the, because at the time I was still working. And so I took the 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year's off. And that's all I did night and day. I stopped to use the bathroom and to eat. That was it, and to sleep. And I wrote the book. And then the week that I was back at work, I would go in and fill in spaces that he told me to fill in. But it took me about maybe 3 weeks and a couple of days, but it took me about 3 weeks to write the book. And so then we got that published. And the next year, he gave me another assignment. And so I wrote Desperate Housewives of Biblical Proportions, about the 7 matriarchs of the Israelite clan and their battle with self-esteem and self-confidence. So I did that, and I was like, okay, that's over with. But while I'm writing these books, he also had me writing a daily blog. So I was blogging every day. Every morning I would get up and write out this blog and put it out there. And I did that for 11 months before he gave me permission to kind of step away from that. So it's always been a thing where I've always journaled. I've always been an avid journaler. So I have always made sure that I am journaling and getting those things that I call clogging up my emotional and spiritual self
Yes.
onto paper, so
Yes.
that I can thereby come together with a clean slate each day and be able to move forward with what God has me to do. So that's kind of how all of it in a nutshell got started.
Wow. If you hold on for a moment, I'm going to see if we can restart because I want to see it still. I thought it would come back and I'll be right back with you. Okay.
Okay.